If I have somebody that I feel like that's too slow, I'm definitely gonna take them out and go around them. But if I have a size advantage, that's when you go inside and you take advantage of that. So it's just all about mismatches. That's what I think it is. I think that's one of the keys in my game that's special, and I'm just ready to go out there and show what I can do. I think I could do a lot of things that a lot of people couldn't see, and now that moving on, playing in the NBA style, I think I'm gonna blossom real well.
Today's feature is another Louisville standout that was expected to have great success in the NBA, but for reasons I will explain, didn't live up to those expectations. At 6'10" and possessing the wing abilities he was gifted with, many saw him on paper as a matchup nightmare and a perfect big or small forward in today's game. Was he lazy, out of position, or simply not good enough? Let's get into it. It's your boy JC, stuntedgrowth3.com. Ash, get it, man. Clark is a Plainfield, New Jersey native that was gifted with those physical tools since his high school days, where he was a star at Rahway Public High School. Immediately after watching him play, you got the feeling that with a little guidance and a little work, this kid could take it all the way. He was raw, but he had that interesting blend between positions that didn't completely put him out of position and also made his game transitional to the one we see now. By his senior year, he was a McDonald's All-American and averaged 25 points a game, 13 rebounds, and 5 assists. He was a top 10 rated small forward and the best player in New Jersey by the time his final high school season was finished. Every big school was after him, but for Earl, it was down to Villanova and Louisville. He chose the Cardinals because it was a better fit. He wanted to compete for a championship, and also because for him, it was the best place to prepare him for the next level. By his own admittance, Clark was a soft-spoken kid that was looking for a strong-minded coach that would push him and motivate him in times when he couldn't motivate himself. With Jay Wright's more cool demeanor, I could see why he would choose the Rick Pitino-ran system, which was a great fit for him, but would cause him to be reliant on this and confused about what the business aspect would demand from him on the next level. Stunt number 1, lack of opportunity. Or better yet, lack of the right opportunity. Because for all intents and purposes, many would say that Earl actually had great opportunities throughout his basketball career. I agree, but making the jump to playing professional basketball, it's very important that initially you fall into the right situation that can propel you forward instead of a situation which stunts your growth, not being able to showcase your full assets. It can set you back career-wise and create an uphill battle unnecessarily. For a player like Earl that's always needed that reassurance and a pat on the back, so to speak, it can take away your confidence and send you on a long road back to regaining it. Some never get back there at all. As a freshman at Louisville, Earl, along with my previous feature Edgar Sosa, came into a young team and didn't have the start they initially wanted, but was able to help their team to second in the Big East and a 24-10 record, becoming the 6th seed in the NCAA tournament. In a bench role, Clark didn't really perform to the best of his abilities, averaging just 5 points and 4 rebounds in just 16 minutes a game, but you could see that with a little time and opportunity, his physical tools alone would improve on his production. That improvement would come in his second year, when Pitino moved him into the starting role, and he became the team's second leading scorer with Terrence Williams at 11 points a game. He also added 8 rebounds in 28 minutes. The team was again second in the conference, had a 27-9 record, and made it to the Elite Eight, where they would lose to North Carolina. In his junior and final season with the Cardinals, he led the team in scoring at 14.2 points a game, 8.7 rebounds, and again making it to the Elite Eight, but falling this time to Michigan State. He would declare for the NBA draft soon after, which was a great decision for him. Everyone knows that Pitino's system is a win-by-committee program, where there's hardly ever one star player that dominates the ball, averaging 20-plus points a game. So for Earl to put up those numbers, it made scouts eager to see what he could do at the next level. He was taken 14th overall, a lottery pick by the Phoenix Suns, and this would be where his first stunt would occur. Although the Suns drafted him in a guaranteed contract position, that 2009-2010 team was stacked with not only veteran players still in the fight for their careers, but also a team that had 5 players averaging better than 10 points a game, and Amari, who was in Earl's position, still one of the best players in the game. His combination with Steve Nash was still an experiment very much in full effect, and their bench was already filled out with guys like Dragic, Barbosa, Dudley, and Robin Lopez. That team made it to the conference finals in the Western Conference. To do that out west tells you exactly how good they were. With Earl being as soft-spoken as he was, as underdeveloped as he was, and with a team that really didn't need him, he became expendable. And when Steve Kerr and assistant GM David Griffin left, the new front office didn't see Earl's talent, and in just his second season, he was traded to Orlando. He would also later deal with opportunity issues in Memphis and in LA. Stunt number 2, speaking up. Another issue with Earl Clark that may have led him to not getting the opportunities he deserved is him being perceived to have confidence issues and seldomly speaking up for himself. As stated earlier, this could be a result of him not building the necessary confidence by going to an older team instead of a younger situation where he could play more and gain the necessary time on the floor to build mentally. Or it could be because Earl was conditioned in his ways and never brought out of his shell at Louisville, having such a dominant-minded coach. When he got to the NBA, he never realized how important talking to the coaches and communicating with the front office was for his career. Building a relationship with the people who pay you, as he later admitted himself, can get you years added onto your career if done right. As a young kid, it's difficult sometimes when you're dropped into a situation too soon and are not ready for it, especially when you don't have someone in your corner giving you the necessary advice on how to move forward. In a business like the NBA, and specifically on teams with veterans like the Suns who are trying to solidify their own futures, there's no time to coddle you and bring you along. A lesson I too had to learn coming from a small place, dropped into a Division I program, and not really understanding how to be vocal and the powers that contains. In his time in Phoenix, Clark averaged less than 4 points a game, didn't rebound well, and played 7 and 11 minutes respectively. In Orlando, it was pretty much the same for Clark production-wise, where he was basically the 15th man on the bench. Stunt number 3, mentally undeveloped. The sum of stunts 1 and 2, I think, led to Earl Clark simply not developing the IQ and mentality it took to excel, much less survive in the NBA. Because at Louisville and college in general, your deficiencies can be glossed over by the reputation you came in with, and also because you chose a perfect program that would fit you almost perfectly, so you're able to showcase better. For Earl, I don't think he was challenged enough as an amateur, and because he left early and wound up in a situation like the Suns, he didn't develop the thinking of the game he would need and what I think coaches look at when evaluating his production. Clark, going back to his college days, has always been a guy that turned the ball over way more than he should have, not being a point guard or primary ball handler. At Louisville, he averaged more turnovers than assists every year, and for his career, almost doubled his turnovers versus assist ratio. This shows that when he gets the ball, he makes bad reads and decisions where he goes with it next. That's an IQ problem. With the NBA being as fast as it is, he struggled on the pro level as well, again averaging more turnovers than assists. For a guy not handling the ball much and playing limited minutes, this just isn't gonna cut it, and is maybe the reason he didn't get the opportunities he thought he should have. This is why studying film and learning the systems of the game is just as important as dribbling the ball. He would go on to play for multiple teams after Orlando, like the Lakers, Cleveland, New York, and Brooklyn, and everywhere he went, it was always the same. Limited minutes, not much confidence shown, slow development, and mental errors shown in turnovers and low shooting percentages. He would also spend time in the D-League and China before he went overseas, where he saw the bulk of his success. All in all, I think Earl Clark should have and could have been a better player with the physical tools he has. I just don't think he put it all together mentally, which caused him to lack the opportunities needed to be successful. But he's at least made it to the top levels of basketball and played with some of the best players in the world, so I gotta give him his credit. Salute to him. I wish him all the best overseas. I hope we get back to playing basketball soon, and who knows, maybe one day he'll have another shot at the league. It's your boy JC, stuntedgrowth3.com. Like and subscribe. I'm out.